I like that the wedding filmer has now become like Xerox, because the word filmer was coined by us, and I think it was really nice when we said the wedding filmer, and now everybody asks, who's your wedding filmer? And it makes us feel really good because we've become a common noun now. I don't know who's getting married now. I think Ranveer and Alia are getting married. I hope they call us. Who knows? I ran out of money when I was getting married in 2010. And it was a very small budget wedding. We couldn't afford a videographer. Everybody insisted that we get a video. I thought only photos would do. We don't need a video. It's okay. But then I figured if I'm going to shoot a video, then I might as well shoot it myself, because nobody can shoot better than me. I discovered a small camera, the DSLRs like the one you're using to shoot me now. And I figured it'll be really nice if I could give this as a gift to my wife then. So I shot it and I put it together, and I had some friends who were helping me shoot it at the wedding, who were also from Bollywood, and they were photographers and cinematographers, and they all helped. So when I was getting married, I gave it to them and I'm like, just take a few shots. Then I put the camera on a tripod and I got my friends to leave me messages. And then I put it all together when I came back home to Bombay, and I gave it to my wife as a present, and she uploaded it online. After that, everybody wanted a video like this, and then I sat down and I thought, why I shouldn't do it. Everybody in advertising at that point of time thought I was crazy. It's like, why are you leaving advertising and going into wedding films? Normally it's the other way around. So I was taking a step back. But taking a step back with the knowledge I knew from advertising was bringing that world of creativity into the wedding space.
We get about 1,500 of these contact forms filled in every month, but we can only do 15 wedding films a year.
The things I got to see when I was doing the Ambani wedding, I've never seen in my life. The things I saw in Anushka-Virat, I'd never seen in my life. And again, with Deepika and Ranveer, the place we went to and the way the ceremony was hosted and made, I've never seen something like that before. With celebrity weddings, and like most weddings, it's I think the number of cameras that people have and the press that come in, and security access when you come in, because like sometimes you'll have the Prime Minister, like in Virat and Anushka's, Narendra Modi had come for the reception. So then there's a lot of security detail that comes with it. There's a lockdown on the location. So we have to be very well prepared, and we have to know everything in advance. It's very important to work with the wedding planners or with the family member who's organizing everything to make sure that you have everything prepared. You don't want to be stuck in a situation where you miss a moment, because those moments don't come back. That's one difficult thing. I think the other difficult thing is keeping your mouth shut, because you're so excited about a wedding that you want to tell everybody, oh, you're doing this wedding, but you really can't say anything to anyone. Sometimes we don't even tell our crew. We only tell them when it's the day we're leaving, and okay, this is the wedding you're going to film, so it's too late to say anything to anyone.
It's not the music that inspires the visuals. It's the other way around. What inspires us to make music? Friends, family, bonds, the good things in life.
Every memory needs a melody, because when you look back, it's like a smell. You know, when you're a kid and you smell your mom's cooking, you kind of know that's the smell of home. And if you leave home and you're away from home for 20 years, and then suddenly she comes back and she makes that same food again, and you smell it, you remember your childhood. Music turns to work the same way. You hear a song and it takes you back to the time when you heard it. Like
when a couple watch their film, they should know that the people who made this cared as much as they did. You'll know straight away. It's a song they'll remember all their lives.
But if that song is made for you specifically, or that song is made with that moment in mind, it has a much longer life, and it'll always take you back.
We are making a new song for Sonia and Harsh. Ishkedari is like a friendship converts into love.
If you have your 25th anniversary and you're going to do a dance again with your wife, chances are you'll dance to the song that we made for you.
We feel that our wedding was so special to us, and we're so glad that we chose the wedding filmer to create something that was as special and that we can treasure for the rest of our lives.
Hojo is Abhijit Datta, one of my main cinematographers, is so blessed that every time he points his camera at something, some magic or the other happens. I guess the first and most important thing to understand from your wedding videographer is whether they get you or not, whether they get the reason why you're getting married and how important that memory is to you. I don't think big palaces or nice big shots or dancers or fireworks always make a good wedding film. Simple wedding films can also work really, really well. It's important to know how the bride and groom are feeling and the kind of mood they're in, and not to make them act in any way. I see a lot of wedding videos where people make each other act, but then that doesn't become real. It becomes like my version of your memory. It should always be your version of your memory, and that's what I should present to you. I think the second thing to look into is make sure that your wedding videographer stays as close to you as possible and not in a faraway place, especially if it's a destination wedding, so that you have access to the family and the bride and groom whenever you need them and you don't miss all the action. Because sometimes the best action is not the actual ceremony. It's in the corridors of those hotels where things work and where there's craziness and where true emotion comes out. And you want to be in a situation where you can capture all of that. To not have too many cameras and don't have too many photographers, otherwise some weddings end up being like a media house or a press conference where there's so many photographers and videographers that they cover the view of the mandap and people who are there blessing the couple don't get a chance to be a part of it. Videographers should also understand the importance of respecting the event, which means remove your shoes if it's a holy space, or don't come in the way of the bride and groom when she's walking towards the bride, because that space is sacred. Nothing is supposed to cross that, which is why I always go from behind and we always capture from the side or from behind the groom. Small things like that go a long way because your shots will look better, you will get the right emotion, and the bride may not trip on you and fall while she's entering. I think another important thing to learn is how to dress well at the event. It's a sign of showing respect, more than be able to look good. I think when you dress in the same dress code of the event, if it's Indian or if it's Western or if you wear a tie and you wear a jacket, the difference that it makes is that people look at you with a little more empathy, and they also relate more to you instead of wearing a uniform with your logo at the back. That tends to push people away from you. Also, if you come in someone's shot and it's your back, people will think you're just a wedding guest. They wouldn't know you're a videographer or a photographer. Having structure to your wedding is always important if you want a nice looking wedding video. Paying attention to the light and how the space is decorated and lit. It's always good to work with your videographer and your decor team at the time so that you don't have everything underlit. You know, when they have these little LED parkans that they put on trees or they put on structures or on decor pieces, and everyone gets underlit instead of being overlit. So small things like that make a big difference. I see a lot of brides and grooms who are getting married in big spaces and have spent a lot of money and a lot of time planning their wedding, and they're not paid attention to videography or photography. But at the end of the day, when everything is done with, you'd only wear that lehenga once, you'd only have all of that once, and once it's all done and gone, all that you have left is your video and your photos. Trends like Arabic themes and stuff, or a Moroccan theme for your wedding, I feel like those are overrated. What really makes a theme work is music, so that's a big trend that's happening. Now most brides who come to us want music for their wedding. And I think just paying attention to the kind of music that plays, whether it's original or not, music plays a very significant part in our lives. Another theme that I see very common in Indian weddings these days are speeches, which are really nice because you get to hear what the father and the mother and the sister and the brother actually feel about the family, about the couple getting married. It makes for a more engaging reception. Another theme I've been noticing that's taking up right now is the structure of an Indian wedding is changing slowly. Now I see receptions where there's a grand entrance for the bride and groom, there's a first dance, there's a cake, there's champagne, the father-daughter dances, and the father gives the daughter to the son. In the olden days, or before I started 10 years ago, this was very rare. You would have only white weddings having that structure, but now I see even nice big Hindu weddings that have a reception, plan their reception in a way that is more cinematic, that's more engaging for everyone. Otherwise it's just a long line of people meeting a bride and groom on stage. Sometimes there's so many guests that you can't even have time to take a picture. So that point of it and that tradition of it is slowly fading away. I guess our work stands out because of the amount of experience we bring to the table. We've now been doing it for 10 years, and in 10 years we've made so many mistakes that now we kind of know what to avoid, what not to avoid. We have the power of anticipation, which is very powerful to have when you're doing a wedding. You don't have any takes again and again, you only have it once. The ability to anticipate when a moment is about to take place and be ready with your focus, your exposure, and most importantly, not being in their face when you're filming it, being away from everything, but yet capturing the beauty of everything, that makes magic. Hi, this is Vishal, the wedding filmer. You're watching me on midday.com. Please like, share and subscribe this video.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.